David, do you view this as a fight for the legit cruiserweight title, or is Jai Opetaia lineal, or do you see it as this fight is because it's for 2 belts?
I mean, I think it's definitely legit because he has 2 world titles. I mean, it doesn't really matter if Jai Opetaia has another one. He has 2 legit titles right there. So I think so. It's a legit fight. It's a legit, title shot, and I'm gonna be very happy once I capture those 2 titles. I mean, I think that's the biggest fight in the world, especially at this weight division. And that's definitely a fight I want. Like I said, I'm not scared of nobody. This is Monstro's world. And if he wants to get that fight, we get that fight.
I'm ready to fight. I've been chasing these big fights for quite a while. I want to call myself undisputed. So, it is what it is. I'm ready when they are.
Yep, I agree.
And I like the fight with Jai. I think the Jai Opetaia fight at cruiserweight is the fight for me. That's the fight that I want to see. Jai has been the man at that weight class for a very long time. Now you got a new player in the division with a hot name and whose stock and whose star power is only rising. That's the fight I believe that needs to be made at the cruiserweight division.
Benavidez agreed to face Gio Opetaia as excitement builds around this massive clash. 2 elite fighters chasing the same throne makes this unmissable.
I mean, I think that would be a great fight to make in the future. And I mean, I respect Jai Opetaia a lot. He's a great fighter, and I think he has to come back over here to make these fights happen.
Opetaia confirmed he is ready the moment this fight gets made. He respects Benavidez but welcomes the challenge with full confidence.
If that's the course, let's do it. You know what I mean? I'm pumped for that. Respectfully, I'd love to fight Benavidez. He's a great fighter. He's got a great following.
Opetaia sees this as the most logical next step if both hold titles in the same division. Facing top champions is the only way to prove who truly runs the weight class.
I believe it is, especially him being in cruiserweight, and to me it just makes sense. Like, if he's fighting for a world title in my division, why don't people want to see who the best is in the division? Like, it does not make sense to me if we don't fight, you know what I mean? Like, he's coming up fighting for a undisputed, like a unification fight, and he's going to be holding the WBO and WBA. It just doesn't make sense to me that we wouldn't fight.
Kellerman noted Benavidez has no defining win over a top champion yet. He called Opetaia the more active and proven champion at the elite level.
Benavidez, by my lights, the way I figure things, has never actually been the champion of a division. Not his fault. Canelo never gave him a shot. So far, neither Bivol gave him a shot, nor Beterbiev, when he was a champ, gave him a shot. Opetaia is a champion who is sitting there going, I want to fight you, right? Look, the fact that no one's fought Benavidez, you understand. And I know he just beat Zurdo Ramirez and there were belts on the line. The actual champion of the division is different.
One analyst praised Benavidez but questioned the level of his past opposition. He called Opetaia a completely different challenge that will reveal everything.
I think he boxes quite well, but you can't really sort of judge on who he's had in the past, and they haven't been too much. So Jai's a completely different beast. So what he can do to them is completely different from what he can do to Jai. So we'll see what happens and put everything together, sort of thing.
Jose Benavidez Sr. feels Opetaia still needs more time at the highest level. He confirmed his team would take the fight without hesitation.
Opetaia, you know what? I think he's a great fighter. I met him at a fight. I want to give a big shout out to Opetaia. I think he's a great fighter. He's doing well, but I think he still needs the experience, His last fight, I think he held back. He looked a little bit tired. He was struggling in there. He did win the fight to me. He did win pretty much all the rounds. But, I just think that he needs a little bit more experience. We'll fight him tomorrow, not a problem.
Ron Ellis warned Benavidez faces a much tougher test against someone his own size. Technical boxing must replace pressure if Benavidez wants to get the win here.
So picking on some of your own size. You're going to start with that. That's first of all. Y'all the same size, so now it's like, I don't think you can stand there. Yeah, I don't think that's Russian roulette. You see me on the ropes. I'm a little more, I'm a swinger, he just... But when it's the same size, Benavidez is going to have to show his real boxing skills. Because I don't think you just walk him down.
Schofield Jr. called this a must-happen fight before either man moves up in weight. He gave Opetaia a real shot and said fight night performance decides everything.
I think that would be a great fight. I think before he would go to heavyweight, I think that would be the fight that needs to be made. I think Jai has a good chance too of possibly winning. Like really? I said, yeah, I think it just comes down to who shows up that night, for real.
Bradley predicted Benavidez wins by dragging Paia into a brutal physical battle. He believes relentless pressure will wear Paia down over the rounds.
David Benavidez beat Jai Opetaia. Hell yeah, he beat Opetaia. Oh, I'm a double down. He gonna beat Opetaia. I double down on that one. He gonna beat Opetaia. See, Opetaia got good feet. Yeah, he can box, but he can be drugged into a fight. And if you know anything about David Benavidez, just like he did with Ramirez, he's the one of those guys that's gonna test your heart. He gonna test what you have in here. And once he go to Jai and he tests what he has in here, Jai gonna lose his shit. Jai ain't gonna be boxing and moving around. Jai gonna be looking to fight. Jai gonna get tired too. Yeah, because Jai, if you look at the history of Jai Opetaia, he get tired. Yes, he gets tired. Period.
Mora called Paia one of the most dangerous challenges Benavidez has ever faced. His power southpaw stance and footwork make him a serious threat.
Benavidez a favorite against Zurdo. I made Benavidez a favorite against Canelo. I know what I'm watching. Opetaia is stronger. Pound for pound in punching, Opetaia punches a lot harder with one single shot than Benavidez. He's a harder, heavy-handed puncher. He's a southpaw. He has better feet than Benavidez. He's just as mean as Benavidez. That would be violent, man. That fight would be violent.
Benavidez has set his sights on Bivol to win titles across multiple divisions. He sees it as a career-defining moment at the highest level.
Bivol is really he's the only fight I really want, like that I truly want. Because he has all the belts. You know what I mean? After I beat Bivol, I'm gonna have, right now I have 8 titles. You know, 3 of them were interim, 3 of them world championships at super middleweight, light heavyweight. Now I got 2 of them at cruiserweight. I really want those belts. You know, I want those accolades. So that's the only thing I want right now.
Benavidez made clear he will fight anywhere from light heavyweight to cruiserweight. His focus is simply to face the best regardless of weight class.
I think you guys know that 100% already. You know, wherever it is, it's 200, 175, wherever. I mean, I'm just here to test myself at the end of the day and test my greatness.
Bivol acknowledged Benavidez's ambition and said top fighters are expected to chase big fights. This mindset is exactly what turns major matchups into must-watch events.
And he has a belt, and I want his belt, and I want to defend my belt, and I want to be active.
Jose Sr. outlined a bold plan built around elite fights and marquee opponents immediately. He is pushing for career-defining matchups to fast-track the legacy right now.
He wants to prove the people that he's the best. I would love to fight Bivol because he beat Canelo. He beat Zurdo Ramirez. So if we can beat the one that beat the one, you know, those are the fights that we want to look for. We don't want no tune-ups, you know, and you see David never wants tune-ups. He wants to fight the best. So we're here to fight the best at cruiserweight or 175.
Hearn credited Benavidez but questioned whether his style works at light heavyweight. He suggested Bivol would be a significantly tougher challenge than anything Benavidez has faced.
I like Benavidez. I think he's a good fighter. How good? You know, Godzic is decent. You know, he's strong, old. I don't think Benavidez is a 175 fighter. I don't think he beats Beterbiev. I don't think he beats Bivol. But I think he's very hard to beat at 168. I think that's where a lot of his advantages come.
Edwards praised Bivol's technique but acknowledged the serious threat Benavidez brings. He said pressure could force Bivol into uncomfortable exchanges as rounds progress.
He has a two-fisted attack, and he has a bigger variety of punches. So that's a lot to just deal with, knowing that, you know what I mean, if he hits you clean, he could you know, do some kind of damage to you. And he's going to hit Benavidez because Benavidez is going to step to him. That's how Benavidez fights. So I think that's I don't know if I would pick Benavidez if this was 5 years ago. You know what I mean? But it's not. The man is 41, and 41 is 41. Yeah. So I pick Benavidez to beat him. I think Benavidez gets off a little too quick for him.
Schofield Jr. said Benavidez may already rank above fighters like Beterbiev overall. He still sees a Bivol fight as a genuine 50-50 that could go either way.
Because I think Bivol had a pretty tough fight with Beterbiev. And I think David Benavidez... Yeah, I think David Benavidez is levels above Beterbiev, so I think it would be a much harder fight for Bivol. But then again, I mean, boxing is 50-50, so that's definitely a 50-50 fight. Because, I mean, Bivol has power, he can box, and he has foot movement, you know, that Soviet style. But yeah, I mean, David is David, so that's just a fight we got to see.
Mora backed Benavidez to beat Bivol and become boxing's next major star. Speed, power, and sparring history give Benavidez the edge to neutralize Bivol's movement.
Benavidez says that Bivol is the #1 target on his list. Is that the right decision for him, do you think, to go back down to 175 and to challenge Dimitri Bivol?
100%. Because one, they've sparred before, so they know what to expect. That's one. Two, imagine him fighting in September in the same venue in Las Vegas with all the Mexicans watching again and beating a guy that beat down your superstar, a guy that beat Bivol. I'm talking about Bivol beat Canelo and you beating Bivol on that special date. That's how you take over the crown at 29 years old and become the next star for the next couple of years. Bivol's the way because he's not a big puncher. He's footwork, and you need to know how to close down that distance and footwork. Benavidez has that. Speed beats the timing of Bivol with that jab. The speed's going to intercept that. And then ultimately the power. The power's going to be on Benavidez's side. Bivol's never been a puncher. He's strong, but he's not a puncher. So everything's for Benavidez. I would see him being the major favorite here.
Manx credited Bivol as pound-for-pound elite but said Benavidez has earned that same status. Based on current form, he slightly favors Benavidez as a dangerous force across divisions.
Yeah, so I want to give Bivol enough credit. Bivol is still a top 5 pound-for-pound guy. That said, based on that performance against Zurdo, I'd have to make the case that Benavidez is a top 5 pound-for-pound guy right now. And I would probably make Benavidez a slight favorite at the moment against Dimitri Bivol because we know what Benavidez is right now. Like, Benavidez is a monster in multiple divisions.
Carrington described Bivol as composed and technically sharp in everything he does. He said Benavidez must bring pressure and pace but called this fight very hard to predict.
I genuinely don't know because Bivol's so disciplined. From round 1 to 12, he's here back and forth with this. He is stubborn with that style, bro. So it's all about him getting Bivol off of his game, which he has the capability of doing. He's broken down so many people. Yeah, I heard that too. You know, where is he at? He's confidently talking about it in his interview, saying how he got him in sparring. But he also lets it known that it was good work though. At the same time, and this time that's been since that happened, and both fighters has grown since then. But man, Bivol, bro, it's gonna be tough. That's a fight that I genuinely don't know. I genuinely don't know how it'll go down.
I do think he beats Beterbiev at Beterbiev's age.